With QAnon, you never know what they're gonna focus their conspiratorial thoughts on. You had Pizzagate, and then John Fetterman being a clone, or a lizard, or a robot, and now they have Huggies diapers. They're not wearing them necessarily, but they're worried about them. Take a look at this photo from Vincent Kennedy, who says, "Once you truly awake, you ain't going back to sleep." And he's circled all of these curious little symbols on the Huggies diapers. What do they mean? Well, Kennedy was apparently referencing the similarity between the symbols on the diaper and those featured in an FBI document from back in 2007, which was published by WikiLeaks, that claims that certain symbols like triangles and circular swirls were used by pedophiles to identify their sexual preferences. So there's potentially some issues with this. If you put this up, it's gonna show that, look, on the left-hand side, these are just the sort of symbols that have always been associated with the Lion King going back literally decades. But it is true that there are some kind of swirly things in this FBI document from like a decade and a half ago, and there is a triangle. You'll note that it's not the same exact triangular swirl as is in the Huggies diaper, but they are convinced that this is proof of, I don't know what. I don't know what the end goal of putting pedophile symbols on a Huggies diaper would be. I don't know what the capitalist company of Huggies would be getting out of this by sneaking a pedophile symbol past us. But Benny, what do you think?
These people are so disconnected from reality. Like I don't know, like if I see random shapes, I'm just gonna see random shapes. Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna like try and dig into like deeper meaning. But these are the same exact people. Like, let's be real. These are the same exact people that said that everybody on the internet was being hyperbolic when like the New York Times crossword on like the first night of Hanukkah looked like a swastika. These people were like, what are you talking about? And it's like, it was pretty obvious, right? To like anybody, if you say, hey, that kind of looks like a swastika, and they're like, yeah, it kind of really does. Like, and so these people, like, I don't know, they're gonna see anything in whatever, right? Like they're literally gonna see anything. I honestly don't know how these people go about their daily lives. Like, how do these people like walk through like a Target or a Walmart and not like have a mental breakdown over literally every single random shape that they see? Because like, whose first thought is that? Whose first thought is that? Like, seriously, it's just like these people, they are so unhinged, it makes no sense.
Well, look, I think there are certainly some individuals that are literally going around looking for some sort of proof of this, because they have convinced themselves that basically 90% of people want to have sex with kids. I think that's crazy. I think one of the things, like, I think that to be a pedophile has to be rare because of how insane and evil it is. To believe that virtually everyone has those feelings, to me, has always sort of betrayed maybe something about the people making the accusations. They are literally saying they think it's reasonable that lots of people want to have sex with kids. And we've already covered multiple times all the different people who have been QAnon influencers, have run these sorts of subreddits and stuff like that. And then it turns out they have child porn on their computers. So I don't need to make the case, they've made it for me. But beyond that, you have the influencers. So these people need to maintain a QAnon base for years, which means they have to look for content. They have to be looking for new insane things. And it doesn't have to make sense. Nobody seems to be responding with, so like, why would Huggies do it? They're just trying to make money off of selling diapers. What would be the point of putting the symbol? Like, I was speculating in our production meeting that it would trigger a pedophile in the wild when they see the symbol. I honestly don't know. Being a conspiracist, approaching the world in that way is a maddening thing, and it's difficult for reasonable people to get their brain in that place. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the big takeaway, like anytime you see anything with QAnon, or even honestly most of the Republican Party at this point, take like 3 seconds to evaluate whether or not you are literally listening to somebody spew like blood libel. Because the truth of the matter is, there are a lot of Republicans who just literally are. Notice how they will use the word they. Notice how they use the word they, okay? And you'll see very, very quickly that a lot of this unhinged conspiracy theory stuff isn't even that creative. And it is literally recycled Nazi propaganda from the 1930s.
Well, hold on a second there. because I was just told by someone I trust to be on the lookout for people using the word they. And you just said they use the word they. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, yeah. I do always notice that. It's the use of the word they when like, I kind of feel like you should define what group you're talking about. And it seems weird that you don't want to. Why don't you want to?
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.